No, the Good morning, everyone. Nice to see you again. Huh? I have a little bit of break. I think everyone has very uh, quiet, quiet time. I'm a little bit busy. Go somewhere, somewhere. uh, so snow and went to Wanaga and Kunston, and there a lot of snow, and we went to Mount Cook. Exactly similar Tibet. I think I 3 days I stayed Tibet. And I'm coming back now. Exactly same Wanaga, Queenstown, Mount Cook area in Tibet. Um, Sometimes good see something like that. Um, yeah, I don't have opportunity to go to Tibet. Then same scope there. Oh, this is looks same, exactly same, not much different. uh, uh, Now we start um, regular class, Sunday class today start first time. How many weeks? We have maybe 16, 15, something like that. During that time, I think we do maybe few weeks. We more focusing how to how to make our mind peace or relax. And then a few weeks, maybe we will do how to make stable mind, or mindfulness or concentration. Um, we will do some few weeks, like second, and then maybe few weeks, and we will do more um, our daily life, how to live with the compassion. In few weeks, and then how to develop our wisdom. I think these four topics. I think we're focusing this time. I want it because more practical and useful. I think everyone uh, need four subjects. Everyone need peaceful mind. Everyone need more stable mind. Everyone need more compassion in our daily life, and then everyone need wisdom. I think these four things very important in our daily life. Therefore, I want to try to um, talk this subject, and we will do together practice. Here. Sometimes we do practice together. It's much easier. I think most people we had nearly 1 month break, and a little bit hard to do your sub meditation, isn't it? And here 1.5 hour, just relax, just listening to something, and easier. Oh, and also some people they're listening online. You, I think, need to understand these four topics, and 1.5 hour just adding sit, no stand up, not go there, bending, and put more attention, and 1.5 hour we do together practice. 다 먼저 쌤 시워 컨데서 그래서 쌤 시워 쌤 시워서 탑람 가리어래서
Firstly, how do we make the mind peaceful? What is the best method for that?
다 탑람 방법 나 탑람 빼 망고 열었어 얘네 탑람 망고 열었어 아니나 다 먼저 다리 둔다디 아니 소소하게 먼저 상말라 이모션 열어 and emotion la ya takje che watching che je de ta de ni dina la ko mangu tu yong gore nim do la ba so sem de ga la khande de emotion khande chi to sta de chi to 다리 둔다 de zo odi kom zo de ga la rang jong che ja wo se ba
So there are many methods to make the mind peaceful. Many methods one can do, but this week I thought it would be good to first see what emotions affect the mind and there's a lot we can do here just with that. So how is my mind, how are my emotions?
딜라야 당보 아니 인디나라 콘섭트 사바 카시 유서스도 카시네 다 둔랑가마 더 발레샤와 카시 사바 카시 또 아니 제가 먼저 데일리 메디테이션로 쇼베네 konda 그 꼼디 캡 디간라 아니 다리 둔다데 스스 이모션 따야 돼 다데 다야게 따당당 안티넬 삼당당 저저 닝에마 디시데스 잠나 안디제메 둔다디스 스스랑정도 셰나 로 나란조 상물로 이모션이 요요로다 간다 아니 요디 딜라 마가와체 망보지 딜라 가고요 말바 디 강에디 따디 동네 칸데스 치고도 봐. 디 디네가라 삼모 칸데 땅고도 그래서 다리 둔다데 어디 육체니 있으러
Some people are here for the first time. Some people have been here before. So then those who are familiar will know that we have done our morning practice and concluding with the evening in terms of a daily practice steadily. So in that context, what we want to focus on this week is feelings, emotions. And very much our work during this week is to observe them, to observe those feelings and emotions. Because we all have it, and there are certain emotions that we observe that are negative. So how to bear that, how to be patient.
Now we will do daily basic meditation together. Some people already did this morning meditation. Some people not yet, and we will do together. Don't worry. Daily meditation is motivation meditation and breathing exercise, then breathing meditation and mindfulness of present moment. We usually do these four things, right? First, we will do motivation meditation. And motivation words is like that. Today, all the actions of my body, speech, and mind, we only benefit others. This is I think some people know, some people new, people they don't know. And please repeat after me. Okay. That is all. need a little bit mm, louder. Doesn't matter, you know. Today, all the actions
Today, all the actions
of my body, speech, and mind,
of my body, speech, and mind
we only benefit others.
will only benefit others.
Today, all the actions
Today, all the actions
of my body, speech, and mind,
of my body, speech, and mind
we only benefit others.
will only benefit others.
Today, all the actions
Today, all the actions
of my body, speech, and mind,
of my body, speech, and mind
we only benefit others.
will only benefit others.
I think we will do again two things too, because some people might think on today or then my body need a little bit put the effort, right? You shook this job. Sim some two dish patch them dance.
So you need to put the effort in a bit more. Don't let the mind be scattered out. Put effort on the focus.
They change your some lo chilo thing la la ne teach them in the kora de shuk do jamna ji some lo dam ta de de ran shuk ga do ko gan la ke te s jawi na 시장은 저 공발에 배제신도 깨쇼 잡으러와 지 가르스나 수수 그 컨설테이션 주용야 편도 쉬워르데 깨 전부 잡나니 배제디 신야 조고 쉬죠래 깨 지나면 저는 셈체가 파도 셈제는 추주 숨실래 배제 신토고 말어 깨 짜위나 까마추 종을 배제 빼하고 신토고
It's good if we put a bit of energy and effort into recitation, because then the mind is right there, focused with it. If not, the mind could be scattered if it's half-hearted. So it's fine if we are a little bit loud, then we will be single-pointedly focused. When we were in the monastery, we would often recite texts very, very loudly, not 50-50, not half-hearted. Because if you found that if you were just half-hearted, the mind wouldn't be focused and it would take 3 or 4 hours to memorize the text. Whereas if you do it quite loudly, you can memorize the same text in a short time, 10-15 minutes.
I had this experience. First, I went in monastery, and then we need to memorize, and I a little bit shy, right? What's up, shy? I little quietly reciting, and then other monk, big, loud, 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 and I can't concentration my text, and I asked my teacher, very hard to memorize text because I heard lots big. Uh, And he said, "You have big words. You can more stronger the other monks. Big louder." 더 신달래 깨숙치스 잡지 신세.
My teacher said, you kind of have to outvoice them, the other monks. You have to be stronger.
Then I try like that, and makes me only me here, and I not much heard other monks. Then easy to memorize, right? Mm. This is I think some people have been in monastery, and then you see the monk big loudly reciting, and some monks was was is very nice. Some monk was is terrible. Don't want listening. Like that. Imagine, sometimes you're listening those manga, some monk and was make me peace and make some joy, and some monk very hard to listening, don't want listening, and and we have some nickname, different monk had different nickname. Now we're reciting together. Okay. Today all the actions
Today, all the actions
of my body, speech, and mind
of my body, speech, and mind
we only benefit others.
will only benefit others.
Today, all the actions
Today, all the actions
of my body, speech, and mind,
of my body, speech, and mind
we only benefit others.
will only benefit others.
Now you recite in your theory teams quietly, right?
Yeah.
And then after that, you can do contemplate these words. 왜 당도 담자체는 독서는 당연히 이모 드리네체 선바상보 지도 지기 삼 양양자 굴론 돌두지 제대로
So now one makes the firm resolve. From today, one is going to practice kind heart. That's essential motivation.
다 담자체 다 이모 드리네 제 수수 메제나는 야니 돈이 가르쳐는 게 선바상보디 오늘로 당기면 삼 담자체
That resolve is that in the context of this life, or whatever comes up, be it good or bad, one is not going to give up that kind heart. So make that resolve.
Oh yeah, that go go marangul semba tinje semba sambu yu go go sra.
One should now rejoice in that, thinking that one's mind is now endowed with such qualities.
Now we will do breathing exercise, right? Breathing exercise. You need eye closed and then breathing in. You hold nostrils strongly, long breathing in, long breathing out. Just need awareness, right? Now and breathing in, now and breathing out. How coach? She was it. 우린 것이 down, 파 down. 시바 전다게 되고
Just one comes to recognize long inhalation and long exhalation. Mind rides on that.
다 나고 슈 텐데 믹스에게 진랍 따단다 내데 진랍이요 구만 거요래 라마자 좀 승주 먹는 거 진랍 근데 지수 나고는 수 용화체 근데 파단데는 심나도 지금 마지바당 다 강에당 심다 지 톡바당 심게 강에 가 이와도 정말 근데 파통성 진짜야 범대스적이었어.
Now, from in-breath, imagine that one's is filled with potency. Being in this place has a blessing due to the holy images here, the statues, many lamas, gurus have taught here. On the in-breath, when you breathe in through the nostrils, you get the potency of that, the blessing of that. And on the out-breath, imagine that any sense of being mentally ill at ease, any thoughts are dispelled.
좀 당하는 게 심풍 장마장장 차서 아 류지 나자던데 유나에 파자 대보 차서 탱고레스라
Now think. Now one's mind is being clear and he's noticing his body,
어이 다양이야 우통하지 단지로 당기 우릉 못 다니 바다 우통하지 단지야 우수 통하던 게파 통하던 게 쉐버시 디스데스
Now we're going to again be aware of inhalation and exhalation, but with faster breaths, more shallow ones.
그래서 상 개버도 수 정보데
Very good if one's posture
근데 구구마데야 개버 정보데
So just checking one's posture, that it is upright yet relaxed, not hunched over.
어이 당저 비리 메디테이션이라고 우통하데 주 당파도 생기도 하고도 나네 주 당파도 숨제 구샤라 아니 삼샤 아니야 데데 좀 다다와 되가는 샤데야 데라 하고와 이제 다라 가는 심 시와 되가는 데 스테이션을 디고
Now, with breathing meditation, if you have recognized just breathing in and out, just able to recognize that, then we begin to count. We're going to do 3 cycles of 3, making 9. Now I'm breathing in, now I'm breathing out. Now I'm breathing in, now I'm breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. That's 1 cycle of 3. You repeat that 3 times. Now it's the mind round. You rest in the present moment. And just observe the mind.
가시 심 시월로 심 샤마 드다만 팅돈 단다 다스도 어디
Yep.
이 싱도 룽다로지도 다디 하고 와지 다디 심 샤시는 디
If it's difficult for one to recognize the mind's peace due to thoughts, if you can place the mind on sound, the wind in the trees, then it's fine. Just focus there.
Okay, now you be a little bit relaxed. Okay. 다들 슬슬 대셔네. 네 이제 대셔 그랬다.
Everyone can relax and I'll talk a bit.
We did four different meditations: motivation meditation, breathing exercise, breathing meditation, mindfulness, and mindfulness or present moment. Right?
Yeah.
Motivation meditation is very important in our daily life. 다간저 쌤 쌤 꾸론 지야죠. 꾸론 지야 돼. 단단한저 곰나 니마지 키로 다 제일 그런저 제일 파 산이나니 곰 될 까마 숨지 sorry 까마 숨지 잠나 디그레스 sorry.
So, welcome. That initial, motivation meditation we do in the context of the day or beginning the day is very important. One can do just 3 minutes. That would be good.
다 대중 내가 가르치고 있나로 내가 가르치고 있나 아니 지 밀라 팬도에 내가 지기 스타틱해 좀 쇼래 메제나랑서 뭐 내가는 지기요로 내가 지야 그 무치디 삼장다마 되베체 아니 내가디 야고마 제비나 나 내가네 비그레스 나 내가 쇼나 베사그레스 딘데 삼노단데나 아니 가드위나 셈나랑 감다다 마지버디 용구로로 루아
And it's important that we have such a motivation or intention in the context of our life because we all work or we need to do some work. But our motivation in that context for our work should not just be money. We should have this benefit others. And one's motivation should not be around, oh, I hope I don't lose my job, because that type of motivation just creates more worry.
다디 멤버체 내가디 팬도에 와지 지기 있어와 신라 팬도에 와지 지기 상당한데 아니 데 고론데 딱다야고지 요나 건다 주정아외 잡라 르다 칼레 카그르다 레가지데 셈라 칼레 카그 마레스로
And if we have such a motivation that may this work I am doing be of benefit to others, and if that motivation is precise and exact, then at the end of the day, 5 o'clock, one might be physically tired, but the mind will have joy.
다디 내가도 비딩 엑서사이즈 지도면 한다 치기 근데 우당제 치기 에너지 진랍다 뉴바든데 주용야 삼노 다임바
Yeah.
디 곰데 야고 자베나 근데 치기 중어 코르죽당 남시당 먼저 르라 대화요데 하고로 먼저 내다 망보지 네, 양 치기 먼저 수보당 치기 중화라 믹스에게다 더 전부도 와로 치기 고육당 먼저 수보라 되어요인다 디 비딩 엑서사이즈 디게 되어요디 신야라 편도 전부 요래서 아니 진네 삼바 흘려 차야지 너
We did some inhalations and then were asked to have a sense that the body had well-being. The body is pervaded with this potency. That's very important because there is a direct correlate, a direct connection with our bodies and these external elements and the weather. In that sense, then we are directly connected to the environment through our bodies, and secondly, relaxing the mind within that.
다디 치기 중화 코줄라 되는 먼저 류 주어도 하고이나 페나 나디 곰로 데데 잡데고 토나치고라 치 남시 마쇼 팁이 나와 뉴질랜드 팁제 니마니 숨팁 차와 파베 마 timba mango che dena ani go naaya de mangado chena go naaya de mangado ani tanda new moon da full moon da dendela san la di sim yanga da jewa dende de yonde go ani rik khashela tanda di ji anxiety sort of shukcher do ya dende yonde go naaya sort of 그래서 숙제를 두고다 인디장갈라 디디 감사한 멤버 된가 말어 제제 수수도 디디 딜이야 수수 쩌다 지 곰자야 나래 시 칼라야고 사야 나래 루제로 제게 나래 니니야고 후에 나지 제제 당부 어딘데서 쩌다 지에 도와딜라 아니야 그 남시데 파탕도 디 수부데 대로 두고다 지난디 우중우게 곰자야 되게 치기 중에 거주도 당당 수수 수부 되어요디 시기도 알아. 디시베이나 양아도 동해 가시 용어도 남산지 고나오다 메사 메간로 뭐지 아다 드링에 고나 주진디 남시디 쇼 팁샤다 데레샤 네 산이 남시 다는 거 다도 그러잖아 고데 파 세르스도 데스 두리자라 동해 뉴르다 진짜 이 체도다 이 편도도다
It's in this context, it's really good if one comes to know one's own body and how there is a connect between one's body and the outer elements. So if the outer elements change, one's body changes. I've noticed from experience here in New Zealand, when we have a succession of wet days where it's cloudy and it rains a lot, I tend to get headaches more. It's something I've noticed personally. And then also around new moons and full moons, there could be a sensitivity for some. Some people might feel lighter around that time, yet others might have more anxiety or more like power. So rather than reverting straight away to medicine, if you get headaches and so forth around these times, it is good to be able to know one's body and adjust with exercise, with diet, with sleep. And of course, there is going to be suffering that comes up physically, but one learns to lessen it by being aware.
안 찍들이 니네 먼저 수부네다 신야라 편도 전부도 와 먼저 되긴 먼저 수부라야고 년게요 말아
Secondly, to actually listen to what the body is saying. Sometimes we do not listen.
다드네 단다 곰 장가져야 된다 셈바담버서야 탑시 약슈리 남도 용으로다야 단데 단당은서디 어느 상말에 디 이모션 강에 쉬어요와 다디파 남도 용으로다야 수미지 남도 가셔니 구문들라고도 다디 곰도 단데 곰자야도 약슈리다
And the second method of meditation, good by counting the breath, is extremely good for a stable mind. for making the mind stable. Some people can't sit quietly without a lot of chatter, discursive thought. So we talk about being overtaken by these negative emotions. For some people, it becomes so much that they can't even sleep. So counting the breath is good as a countermeasure.
다드네 심 다다와 간라 샤야디 니 nganazo ro dachi 가시 대변내지 망고 지 야태용 사마마지 오직스 하셔 마음발라 스스 쳐시로 지지지 안데 세상에서 다다와게 단다 직대와다 기부지 대야 요바데 고갑데 매우서 샤거도 어디 인디다 심 다다와 간라 샤야디 개좀보시오래.
Next, being able to abide or place the mind in the present moment. Some people are recalling the past a lot and get upset around that, yet others are making future plans revolving around that. Well, if you are able to remain in the present moment, those past reflections and future plans have no chance.
세상 다 삼루직다나다 든데로다 대화디 차차래로 양자냐 삼다나 마음번이 윤주래 당내 다다 스스 기부세 대토이나 대 기시로로.
Well, the past is gone. The future is yet to come. Happiest case? Remain in the present moment.
또 마차 다다와 가면 할람 되고 말아다. 지금 대도움도 하대.
But that's quite difficult for us, isn't it? Just to remain in the present moment. Not easy.
가서는 곰시디다 즉 대변내주 자자 독주든지 대변내주디키 너네 자자 숨주 쉽주디 마음 바신 다다월로 그갑시다요.
Because we are habituated to remain in the past, what happened to us 60, 70%, and even to revolve what might happen in the future 30, 40. What chance has the present moment? Not much.
단다디 줍다 낭배 줍다 직 드르직에 뭐보이나 다다에 매캡사야 돼. 굳이 첨으로다.
Now, from the point of Buddhist philosophy, we have a definition that if it's
줍다 직 되고 시라모. 또 되고.
One of the Buddhist schools following reason say that if it's a compounded thing, it's necessarily present in this moment. It is a compound.
이제 다오래제도 와도 삼단데.
It's just changing.
다 되어 더서 삼단하다 곰자 몽보에 땅을 딜라모가 싫어.
Well, there's a lot to reflect on those points of view, but we'll leave it. There's no end to that.
다드네 다르게 당소디 쇼베게다 곰자지 저런서 사바도 저이나 데젠리라 까마숨제 엔투제이나 까망가장가세 까미슈도와 또 쇼베 까미슈된 주제 체가 곰자나 다 되게 되게었다.
For those that are new then, those four things we went through: motivation, breathing meditation, breathing exercise, being in the present moment, just going through those cycles 4 or 5 minutes each, and that comes up to 20 minutes. So probably if you can do no more than 30 minutes in the morning, that is fine.
학바드 단다지랑서 가시에다 망보 가시 당보이나 당보도스 곰 주릉보 제주야말라 늘 쇼베지 까마 주 정한 유시 숨주든데 말 흘려세 대학 곰시도 어디하고 소시면 지고 그래서 곰시.
Now, for those that are new to meditation, it would be good not to spend too long in the morning on one's meditation. It would be better to make 10, 15, 20 minutes one's habit and be very relaxed about it.
제가다 다드네응서 다리 둔달라 그래서나 다 저디 나라도 창말라 대영아 미망보게 다 주어로지 지기도 알아. 다 책디 당봉아에 당보로지 인지책나 배배책디 le turo shi tonda la ra ma tu des course ma ta je la ta emotion la de pe chen chowa gembo la ko wi sre chowa gembo wa pe we chi chen chowa gembo ji la me chowa gembo se da ne chowa gembo se de ta chowa de se chowa no da wa chowa chowa ngun ju da wa ji wa chowa ngun de ju wa ji kanro chi ma do ni ko chowa kanro chi ma do ni ko chowa ji la pe chen man cha ge emotion la de pe chen de ji kan la ko den je gu yi sre ro
I was asked this question a lot, again and again, around this word emotions. And in terms of English language and Tibetan, I had to really explore that. And I came to think the closest I could get in translation was when we get these feelings that are so strong and they manifest such that we cannot control them.
다 디네가로 초와들라 초와 대화다 초와 동행이로 다 디두닌가요라 디두닌가 연구도 하들로
So within that constraint, feelings and emotions, there are blissful ones and painful ones, pleasure and pain.
다 초와 대화디니 아니 토부 토무로지 당고 가로로지 참부로지 하나 아니 쉬우지가 쉬우지 요로다데 쉬우지다 직 냠바로다 저런 거지 서프라이즈는 쓰기도 and 이렇게네 두두진나라야 쉬우지 직직을 커버했어 근데 가도이나 커버돼서 대도 말아 아야 야 대식 마투 야야 파르 마투야 아니 메즈코나 야야자 마 근데 인데로지 다 가서 대기도 하스러
So those feelings on the, let's say, the positive or blissful side, we tend to have those towards those that are our friends, those that we're close to, our loved ones. And you are surprised from time to time that there are these joyful experiences, but that doesn't always remain. Sometimes that turns into disputes, and then we're going up. We're going down, going up, we're going down. That happens a lot.
제가 아니 다 이제 강에 릭섬 마지브 릭도선이다 동해 릭도선이다 가시다 배동에 타고 이제 미주당 의 지가 왔는데 용구도 알아.
And then on the other extreme of emotion, when things become so difficult and we suffer a lot, we cry.
제가 대내가로 다 가르쳐 그래요. 대내가로 곰 그터네 삼로 가르당 그래서 드리다.
Now the question comes, in those difficult circumstances, how do we meditate with that? How do we work with that?
다 대내가로 처와 가래연에 파 직가야당 처와 독자 동행을 듣는데나 파가야를 배제 마치 야직 처와 대화에서 가보셔야 그 처든데 야티 양자야 딘딘한 시지 용하야 그러와 저 많이 받지 이 처와 야니 돈이 가래 처 가래 이모션 가래 레벨이네 코라 하고 버진데 와 씹어지네 대도비나 어디 빼야고 요래 두스 따대다 아니 코 예루고 그거 다 대고 말고
So there is a case that these emotions or feelings that come up, be they positive or negative, it is very good to recognize them. Very good to recognize them because sometimes there are negative feelings that make us suffer that we want to stop. And we put great effort into stopping those negative emotions that would be counterproductive. Or conversely, we want to reproduce the bliss and we hope for it again. Rather than doing either of those, just being aware that when those emotions come up, just observing them as they come up, and then you start to realize they would dissolve of their own accord. They can't stay. This is excellent.
파 가야게 배전 치우마래 양자 초다 대외 이렇게 야빠려게 레와에 치우마래로 아니 제가 슈그 생근하네 파 배전로 전 치우마 콜라 때문에 되나 아니 먼저 timbal라 tim바다데 남 timbal로 그 timba 되다. 주 용구도 파 예루거든.
Yeah.
timba 출리베 가들 먼저 파가 두고 말해. 거라 유시다. 양 거라 파 예루거든. 지부지냐래. 된다 심게 emotion 라디 예디. 심내 주 중어래 심내 바 팀도. 심내 주 중어래 심내 바 팀도 그렇고. 코타제 대셔도 되고 다가라나 결혼도 때묻다고 나시와. 무비다고 나시. 아니 무비다고 나시 다시다. 아니 예를 거
So yeah, that's very important. Don't try and force the mind to stop the negative feelings on the one hand, or have a hope around the blissful feelings that you're going to reproduce them on the other. Just watch those feelings. It is like when you're observing space, the clouds, they will come and go. You cannot stop the clouds. Similarly, in the emotions in the mind, emotions, the feelings will come into the mind and they'll dissolve back into whence they came from.
다 오늘 거나
So it's very much like watching a movie.
당원에 emotion 코라 직다 냠네 잔죽sem다 다 제라 아니 로종기 냠네 로종기 야 야고여나 아니 저도 상마 랑가 람나 치신 냠네 치신 그래서 상당 안조 단들레 당보 손자 아니 콜라 따데나 당보코 따데비나 다게 되고래 아니 니와 칼레 아니 제라다 곰잡 네다 안조다 데레 둔다 망고 요바인자 아니 제라 그 지메 닝지단데 카둘라 아니 이파디 초아디 람나 지나다 저 공기 탑람나 치죠 단다 탑람다 치고요 이나 단다 당보 만나도 레 당보에게 다라래 다다 당하는지 인지질레 이모션 거사 남도로 봐 취미지 남도로 봐 취미지 남도 나네 다 남도 숙천보도 들어봐 아니 숙천보도 아니 당부가 마르코라 때문에 되는 리그요레스 고요 제가 어디 때문에 대비나 아니 리그어다 디 따다데 곰데스 마점나나 용고 말와다 곰자고 레스로
Now, these things we call emotions at other levels of spiritual training, we might be able to train our minds to make those negative emotions positive, such as training in altruism, where you take negativities and you turn them into altruistic view, taking negativities into the path. But that will come later. At our level as beginners, our job, or what we should try, is just to watch the emotions, just to observe them at the initial stage. And then latterly, as we meditate, as we get further on into this course as well, we will look at how to transform such negative feelings into the path by using great compassion, which is also a method. Of course, these thoughts that we're having, we might label them emotions, but what they are in reality is thoughts that are not valid, thoughts of inappropriate attention. So therefore, initially, just observing them.
어예 당저 곰데스 자고스라
Let's sit and meditate.
다 당보 비디 exercise와 우도 오른쪽 당 오른 파당마 시베체 어딜에 뭐 가시시 되긴다스로
So once again, coming back to just recognizing the breath, inhalation, exhalation.
믹스음는데
It's okay to close one's eyes and have a relaxed posture.
아야 다 단다라 수술이야 초 디도 카레 요데 하고 하시는 디요 야 시바시
Now, just being aware of whatever feelings, emotions you have, be they good or bad, recognizing them.
야부 뭐 신도 문도나 야양야 breathing exercise 장가자야죠 봐 장가자야 되고 ngachebaji sumjab ngacheba sumjab thanga nga uktu dangi pa dangi chik ni sumji ngacheba sum jonga chegro ba jonga cha cha da ani yang ya yang la chowa khare da da chowa kha yo de she na daga digyo
If you find it difficult to even recognize feeling or emotion, go back to counting the breath. This time, 3 cycles of 5, so inhalation and exhalation. You do that five cycles, and you do that 3 times, making 15 rounds in all. And then you rest the mind in the present moment and recognize what feelings are coming up, what emotions. They could be good or bad.
아야. 다디 다 남산 레라고요 말이야. 다야 돼. 남도 무슨 뭐더라. 소 무슨 소도 레라고 무슨 두 말아. 아니야. 가시야. 네게티브 소 숙청부여나. 제가 삼로망보다는 sem마지우 차양 거로 봐. 근데 내가는 참샤 아니야. 비딩 메디테이션 체지야. sem마 잠보소. 야 sem마 잠보 차스나냐. 남돌라다. 두 체제. 아디 데스 마잠나나 람산 레로 하고 말이다. 곰 주름 뭐 잔예 두스 람 종거라 초그레스로.
It's not easy to check the mind. It's not easy to recognize emotions and feelings. Okay, just recognition is not easy. And also, there are times when the negativities become quite strong and it's sort of overwhelming. Well, don't fixate, don't push it if that's the case. Go back to the breathing meditation and again soften. And when the mind becomes workable, again observe. Now, having said that, these things require effort, continual effort. Those people that have had experience will be aware of it.
단다 먼저 다 지난주 페이지 찍다가는 페이지 셋이나 emotion 컨트롤 스위치고 그래서 아니 다 단다 emotion 먼저 주 컨트롤치 아니 다 심기 먼저 컨트롤치 심 emotion 아니 emotion 먼저 컨트롤치 먼저 요구도 차지 두스 차지다 아니 심야 차 마파 야차 마파 여자마자 망부 쉬우지 동해 망부 쉬우지 가시에도 센시티브 쉬우지는데도 와
Yeah.
툭 채우다 람상 선범마지고 차로다 두즈리두즈다 배 하장게 시원 전부 찾아랬더라.
Now, in that sense, we need to gain the control over the emotions ourselves so that we come to know our mind's nature. The opposite seems to be the case, that we have become almost servants of these invalid emotions or these emotions. So in that case, then we're always going up and down. And some people are so sensitive, slightly external, something negative happens and they get set off by that external circumstance. Well, that's just a sign that they've been overcome by the emotion. Under control, let's say, of their emotions.
나게 배샤고 와. 배샤에는 진짜 세우차고 와. 배를 간대여서는 먼저 추망고 추욕지 첨보자로 와. 추로 리와 숙 첨보제나. 먼저 디나를 주나 키로라. 먼저 단다 디나를 주대레스다. 다 이모션을 와진체디 디네 추디는 추 던제. 추디를 따대고. 추디고나 예로라. 그 추키두고 말아. 어디래다 emotional 다다 베직 되래서.
The analogy for watching emotions similar like this. If one sees a strong body of water, currents, and one goes into that, then automatically one is carried by that strong body of water. You have no choice. Conversely, if you start to observe just the currents with your own mind, you're not taken by that. You're observing it.
야, 베직라 텐데레 베나 파워드나라 투유너라 와. 투유나 투도는 시그라 나그러 수분 나그러다. 그래서 당한도 망버지게 투도 동구여랬다. 투도 동구여랬어. 퍼센트 동시하고 그래서. 또는 수분 나그래 가시 시그러 왔다. 가시 소와 점보체랑 시제구도 왔다. 당연하래다 간다. 베데레.
The other example is that of poison in a cup. If you drink such poison in a cup, some people suffer and ultimately will die. Some people just get sick. Some people, they commit suicide.
제자다 다 둘렀다 대비는 아니 누구 말아봐. 제자다 안서 emotional watching 해야 돼 어디래다. 다 둘렀다 어디 지금 그래서.
But if you just observe those poisonous substances. Don't partake of them. That is similar to watching emotions and mind.
다 응을 데 찍들이 되네 찍디 먼저 충격과도 와 충격과
Yep.
충격과 emotion데 충격과도 찍버려 상주 쌤데 욕대 열었어 다 추디 충격배나라 드나 아니 먼저 잘라다 담을 통구면도 와
Yeah.
충격과도 마 쉬워지야라 아니 다 가르쳐 그래서나 곰 잡제 쌤데 쉬워지 들라 따제 추들라 따든 추디 갈래 당마 차도 그러 욕과도 추고라나라 바 팀도 그러 치 다운도 되는 먼저 주난게 도다 냐다 아니 자다 근데 통구도 하고 어디나시 아니 쌤기 연대인데 주 통용 거다 걸어야 곰잡지 따지 대비나 아니 고 갈래 욕과도 마시제 아니 쌤기 연대인데 시행 그래서
Similarly, our minds are like a dirty body of water that's stirred up.
먼저 쌤들다 단대 쌤
Our mind is like that water that is stirred up, so that when it's shaken up with dirt, you can't see things. You cannot see things in the water. So that when the dirty water finally settles and becomes clear, its true nature, you can see what is in the water, be it stones, fish, whatever. Similarly, through the practice of meditation, one comes to observe and get to the nature of one's mind. Then you start to see the mind's qualities.
대나신다 먼저 초와 뒤두치고 말해다 남도를 따야 돼 지고로 와 전단다 먼저 곰자 제 콜라 따대 따단데 시위나 아니 뭐네 아니 그런 거 어디 먼저 다라래다 추구 보어디 추 보어와 뭐하고라 추 보어디 추네 종어리 추르바 팀도도 emotion 지고 지냐래 심내 종어리 심내 팀도 심내 종어리 심내 팀도 그래 대나신 거 따지되나 바 팀도 그래서
Now, not only feelings and emotions, thoughts, we are coming to recognize thoughts. What is their nature? Similar to bubbles in water. The bubbles are sourced in the water, yet dissolve back into it. It is exactly the same for emotions and thoughts in the mind. They come from the mind, dissolve back into mind.
다데 심 다단 지고 말해 한다 심 기타 되나 시대는 알아서 디 탑람디 알아서 다 먼저 심디 두 스타 시디네 심디 남도라다 지디 테스 다단디 하고 셴나 아니 되네 미팅데기 깨제셔는데 아니 미지기 네거티브 비제셔나 수수 네거티브는 도가야요 말아 아니 콜로 와징체 대회이나 안저 심라 디두션에 태그 말아 아니 뉴스인데 따데데 콜로 와징 체르메 디나르파 주나 아니 안저 심라 동에 태그요 와셔다 대나시로 갖고 안저 미지기 깨제셔도 뒤중 안저 람사 미디 깨제셔다 야고rel라서나 야고레테 두자rel라서나 두자 아니 깨제 마셔는 보디 랭귀지로 야고시 때는 쉬어지까 두자지 때는 람사 마가오 체그도 다단다디 곰자단데 따다디 콜라 따제 데비나 디 야고레 두자르시 여마 체버체 따제 데비나 어디 강의도 저는 연구 말다 디 탑람디베 깨라 가서라 탑람디 짜 전부로 해서 봐 아니 배주 남나 냠내 치도나니 펜도 요레스 장소
So, just observing this is one method for observing the mind, just being with the mind and observing the mental constructs, not going down a negative path, but just observing, positive or negative, just watch. Because oftentimes when we meet someone, they say this or that, and we straight away discriminate, good or bad. Or when we hear the news, when we hear something negative, straight away our mind is gone to that negative news. So rather than that, if you have a method whereby you just observe through having practiced meditation, when someone speaks positive or negative, you are not discriminating particularly, adverse or not, but You don't discriminate. You don't discriminate at once. You just observe. Thereby, one is not affected by externals so much.
어야 다 당고 다래 둔다데 곰다데 basic meditation 가는 단다 다데 다단 신송하다 다 아니 수수 촉보레 내가 최소레 게도레 보고레 대저게 아니 셈바마지와다 강에데 초와 점보 쓰고도는 답배하고요 다래 다래 둔다데라 아니 콘돌라니데 중요하고요다 아니 초와디 모션데 하고라 안데 다단데 싱그러 아니 네 롱라냐 파샤죠 다래 저런 롱렘버딩 앞에 하고 펜도고 중어서 곰잘 펜스스 라고레스다
This week we are about basic practice, basic meditation, and knowing how to work with that if you are interacting with friends, loved ones, your children, your colleagues, your partners, and if difficulties come up around that, if there's a degree of upset around that, this is really wonderful. When you get into problems, best case now, because you will think, oh, how wonderful! I have the opportunity with this anger to practice meditation.
아니 컨트롤란스 하드 네데 이모셔널 다단데 싱그러고 세우 차용 거라 뒤주이나 디 야고멘도 지지지라 그러 다데 야고다 도자레 계자야 말데 컨데스도 콜라 따제 되는데 아니 다그랑게 직내주 망보지 시워 차로 그러고
Now that's good. If the strong emotions come up, for example, anger, one clearly sees that anger. One doesn't follow after that straight away. You just recognize good or bad. Here, you are recognizing what is the entity of the emotion. This is a good method.
다 저는 그냥 답시 찍으려고 해서 그래서는 다 컨트롤을 레온디 컨트롤이 나를 까마 가지고 대해서 까마 가고 그래요. 네 컨트롤이 까마 가지고 대해서 따제 되다. 까마지에 대고 말해 세겐 가셔나래 얘도 그래.
One wee trick would be when the anger comes up is to time it on the watch. How many minutes does the anger stay there? It won't stay for more than a few seconds. It will dissolve.
되네 양자 저거 당기들에 다래디 유령 것도. 다 인다 양자 유령아 찍인다세. 야고다 네.
And then watch again when it comes up again. Oh, this one's a bit longer. What's going on? So then have to watch again.
두스타 그러다. 두스타 데비나 아니 오네르다. 아니 내주 먹보지 두스쳤다. 데데 개좀뭐 쉬어지래.
Yeah, so one starts to observe the emotions in this way. This is very important. It's good.
다 되네 지 네거티브로 주는 파가야게 배저 마셔체. 포지티브로 주는 양자 영향에로 마셔체. 거라 간데스도 또 뒤즈르는 가지고 돼서 따지 된 다게 되고 다리 된다데 다 따지 돼다 그러는데.
Then once again, in terms of watching the emotions, when the negative emotions come up, don't be pushy and try to stop them, certainly not. Conversely, if the emotion is good, blissful, pleasurable, don't try and recreate it. The point there is just to observe it. Okay, so how long is this sensation? Emotion.
Oh yeah. Study sebucha zong joranzo do you understand clearly? Week home relaxation, your home relaxation, no homework. This home relaxation. Or daily meditation. This is daily meditation, and the top you're watching your emotion. Next time then we can do more shivacha dravata semba. And next time we will try more how to reduce lagorada. Reduce or developing positive, negative, positive emotion, how to reduce. If you reduce your negative emotion, and then your mind already have peace. Right? Oh yeah. 다 디네 gonda gomjaadre 다 디 랑존 셰 동 gonda joranzu gomjaare 다 디와 드린 gonda tonight
So then, having done the morning motivation tonight, how to dedicate, how to stop.
That's you can watch before sleeping, and today you did something wrong, and you need to regret it,
Mm-hmm.
regret and do some purification, and then you can you have some positive things,
That is.
and then you need to rejoice and do dedication before sleeping, right?
Mm.
And then tiwa.
Anyone have any questions from today?
tiwa, okay? tiwa, tiwa ngochago 말했어.
One needn't be.
톡바.
Yeah.
안다 곰 라바 되게디. 세부 차면은 디 세부서. 신다 인지민지 tiwa 거야지 말아.
So one needn't be shy around questions. The point is to remove any doubts you might have around your meditation practice or a question in general.
예.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When there was a big accident down in Oamaru when these young people crashed their car and they all died, I cried.
Yep.
Is that a show of compassion or overreaction to my feeling?
Thank you. So the question is, there was an accident in Oamaru where a lot of people died in that car crash. Our friend cried, and is that an overreaction or a compassionate showing?
Really. 이제 닝지랑래. 저도 닝지를 봐. 비조게다 동해 되게 통 아니 일단은 로슈주 먹고 통도 아니 방보러 봐. 제단디 아니 다지 칸다치다로시 닝지 따다랑 닝지랑래. 저도 닝지래 저 봐.
They are signs of compassion. Many, I think, young people died, suffered, and one is thinking, oh dear. That's compassion.
간다 미나래 둔도이나 가리나 시위나 동해요라다로.
It is the case that if humans die or animals die, suffering is there.
제단다 먼저 디 닝지디 대체로 같은데 가돌라 디제라 내주디 코네 삼바 마지와 차용 것도는 답해진 엠바티사들이다 인지치기로.
Yeah.
먼저 다디 아니야 대세다 되자단 제도가 요래 삼바 마지와 소용 것도 다 되네 닝지 되는다 아디 저 동해요래다 동해다 차나 지마로 와 당저 낭배기 흉내 제위나 아지 다데 저 상마 로주주다 당저 시에버들 와 톰버데네 저 개와야 고질래야 당 근데 라면람자야 당 드즈치디 먼저 가르치고도 마음발라 근데 마음야랑 먼저 가르치고도 수승원에 견상 뭐라 당데 sab서 치고야 되다 계지 물어라. 그래서 바로 왜 동해 맞아야지 등어 뭐라 딜람 키기 인스다 대화여 대산디 내가 가르치기나 바로 동해 마음야지 등에 뭐라야 보지 땅 두고 치기 상담이나 트래픽 폴리싱아 티켓 테그리 삼마도체 네 당에 뭐라디 야고마다나나 바로 동나 바로 동해 먹고 속으래데 디그 말에스 수중은에 어딘데 시야여 봐다.
Yeah, I mean, really, if you are overwhelmed at hearing about what happened in that accident, so much so that your mind becomes upset, then in that case, it could be empathy in the sense that one's compassion is mixed with a type of attachment. But if you, from the perspective of Buddha Dharma, if you really think may those beings be free from suffering that went through that accident. And I myself will cause them to be free of that suffering. It has a deeper sense. Then you can do things like think, may they have a good future birth. Okay, so may they have a good future rebirth. And also thinking around how to stop such things happening again, and making it also aware of one's own driving, that you'll take care when you drive. Not from the point of view that you're worried about getting a ticket from the police, but that when you drive, you're totally aware of taking care of others. Now, here, this type of compassion is to free those beings from suffering. I myself will do it. So it's a personal resolve. Now, if one has such a thought, one is having this under the context of having a conviction in past and future lives. If one doesn't have such a conviction, such a thought of relieving beings from their suffering won't have that much weight, validity. And, generally, we would think that this notion of past and future lives is in the kind of context of having a religious belief or a spiritual path. But more contemporarily, that's not necessarily the case anymore, because those who believe in a spiritual path or not might be able to have the conviction that there are past lives, because there are studies now of many children who have recalled their past lives. So with intelligence and study, you can come to see through yourself, through your experience and reasoning, that this can be the case. And if those children and so forth had those experiences of past lives, then future lives necessarily exist. I have had this reasoning or doubt in my mind through my experience. Somehow when I meet others for the first time in this life that I haven't seen before, straight away I have a connection with them and it seems to flow easily. And then I would think, how is it? How is it that I am connected to this person straight away? And, well, because there would seem to be a connection from past lives into this life, and then those imprints that we shared in the past are now being awakened, those latencies. So that is in the nature. And this is something that you can all validate through your own experience, self-experience. You don't need to go and ask others, oh, do past lives exist or not? You experience.
근데 요나 디 이제도 요나 아니 단다도 줄라 면람게도 와다 거 겨와치마 그래서 건전히 좋은 차례
Yeah.
근데 겨와치마 파마야고지 나 계지모 쉬어래다 파마야고지를 겨말래나 강에 매주 창마 강에 드네 용구도 항들어
So again,
파마야고 아니 코유야고지를 겨와 쇼스 면람게도 야고다
it is very important we make these prayers and aspirations for those beings that died, right? May they meet with good parents. Good parents, very important. And also, may we be born, or may those beings that have died be born in good environments.
Oh yeah, that is how more.
Shall we not conclude now?
예, 면람지 저런저게 아니 단단하라서 꼼자에 교회 자와디 아니 직접 물린 시대요야 당 아니 단다도와 직 투마인베 치겐요 당 근데다르와 치왕이 치겐만신 순진용 사들의 잠물린 가서 밀러와 미야 치야게 겐 잠물린 디나라다 단다 디 내용되게 강의 쇼지도 왔다데 파 조즈 나자데 파 내용디 내림디 파 시제다 ngo마나신 잠물린 ngo마 로니 콘라 파지 트래블링 도야다 그래서 프릴 로토고여러 어딘데 나시 로토비아 아니 지다 미네바도즈라 메라야 르바 카셰라 아니 칼라마라니라 칼라메니라 칼라라야 둘로메니 아니 레가메니라 레가 아니 토보토모메니라 토보토모라야 어딘데게 아니 간다 잠블링게 미 상물라 대화데 동에메데와 인사 디기용야다 아니 제 다시 잠블링 시대용야다 구육도즈 파파자마야 잠블링디 야고 체제 규령 뭐지 네트워크 아니 개와 디 파든데지 용어 쇼스 지난주 된데 삼단시 아는 게 되네마 물론 된 것으로
Now I will do some short prayers to dedicate today and those merits that we have collected together from being here. We should dedicate them to world peace. That beings don't meet death in an untimely way. We dedicate to that end because there are conditions in the world now for death quite a lot. And also that this COVID, this thing, contagious thing, be pacified like it was a few years ago when we could travel where we wanted to travel. May it become like that again. And may the patients that need medicine find it. May those that need food find food. Those that need clothes find clothes. Those who are out of work, may they find a job. And those who need friends find a friend. We should dedicate, in short, for the welfare of the beings in this world.
선남디 단제지 과이 고만도 지기기 다드네 가다나단 시베로라 시베존로 원도죠 다단신 유디 선단데 zonye로 네베 저와 셔저도의 덴바이르네 유지 다단신 유디 선단데 zonye로 네 저와로 선다와의 덴바이르 바유지 최지죠 정화의 최전나마 배워다 그게 정하셔 튼제말레 자와라요 가르르 외고의 신가디 베나도 말해주베 제레자와데 냐노이 제베스데 바데데 유지 전주순저를 뭐지 마제바나지 유지 겨와냐바메와 고네고네 베오라쇼 데다지베 나가게와예 제다이베 파마즈멘제 파마란인데 당 춘데데베 라마로벤당 샤다제베 튼돌라소바 녀도 산제살라고 오라이쇼 Okay, thank you very much.